Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update for everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. Today is December 5th. My name is Whack Attack, and it's been a very busy weekend. So let's get started. The first thing that we're going to start with, of course, is the RPL Benefactor. So who is this person? What's going on with this? No one knows. On Friday night, they turned up in trading and they said 3 steps. DM me telling me why you deserve some RPL. I will reward Rocket Pool work ahead of everything else. Send me your address. If I like what I see, I will send you RPL. So on Friday's episode, I thought there was something going on with this. So I mentioned it, and because I think some people had gotten RPL on Thursday night, but it seems like the benefactor was talking about how they had some issues getting into Discord and they changed up the system from Friday. So they did this. So as the weekend's gone on, let me actually just go through the links and we'll try to piece the story together. So Fizz, a couple of minutes later, was saying it's me, because it turns out that the wallet that the benefactor was using was seeded by 1000 RPL and some ETH from a wallet that Patricio gave money to Fizz to share it with the community. So I guess Fizz trusted the benefactor and gave it to the benefactor to distribute it to the community. And yeah, that's what was going on. So let's talk about it a little bit more. So the benefactor said, I'll post this message twice a day until I run out of RPL. I currently have 930 RPL in my wallet. I distributed 70 RPL yesterday. So this was on Friday evening. And then I replied by saying, this is the person that sent me 20 RPL. And Rocky Luke was saying, who are you? And then I shared a link to their wallet. Actually, let me open that because we'll be talking about that in a bit. I'll put that over here. Right. And then Fizz says, confirmed it's me. And I said I was trying to ask them about, them then, but no one knew. So it got everyone in the community kind of talking about it. And yeah, and then the first transaction started going through. So here we had Lee, who said, oh wow, RPL Benefactor is no joke. I sent a DM showing her a couple of YouTube videos I'd created so far with more to come, and they were gracious enough to send me 10 RPL. Thank you. So it turned out that we theorized that the benefactor was working kind of like with a scale. So they were sending 1 RPL for community members, 5 RPL for people who did some work or were helpful in the community, 10 RPL for people who did like a lot of work, and then 20 RPL for like the superstars of the community, I guess. And then there were a couple of people that got 30 RPL, but I'm not sure exactly what criteria that was. But that's like a rough idea of, I think, how much they were giving. Let's go on. So Fizz then explained it, right? He said, I sent some funds to someone who convinced me that they could do good things with it. And then Rocket Luke said, you send someone randomly $20,000 because 1,000 RPL is just around $20,000 right now. And yeah, as Super Fizz says, it wasn't random. We had like 3 texts about it. I'd like to think that I sent someone $200,000 that just hasn't matured yet, which is kind of my idea as well. I think more than that. I think it's like $2 million that hasn't matured yet, but that's a whole different ballgame. So, a lot of people have been kind of posting these links over the weekend saying, thanks RPL Benefactor, 1 RPL for being the first smoothie pool contributor. And then people were kind of posting how much they got. And, kind of some people were saying like why they got it. Some people like were saying not saying that. Some people didn't say anything, I guess, because it seems like a whole lot of RPL was distributed, which is really cool. The next thing we had was this this nice little exchange. So Toucan Spam said, RPL Benefactor, feel free to chuck any RPL into the smoothing pool. According to Joe, the distributor works for all tokens in the smoothing pool contract. And then, RPL Graham says, I asked the benefactor if the benefactor was Fizz. It was inconclusive. And then let me see what there. So Joe then says, no, it doesn't. Like it doesn't distribute RPL. And Toucan Spam says there's RPL on the table. And then he says, what? And Joe says the smoothing pool contract only looks at ETH. And he says if you send anything else, it gets ignored. Yeah, so Joe says if you send anything else, it gets ignored. And then the benefactor says address. And Toucan Spam says I was wrong. And the benefactor says I will send ETH. So then Valdorf posts a link, get address of contract. And Toucan Spam says, what's the smoothing pool address? Sorry, you are smart. And then Joe says the contract as well. And then let me see. Yeah, Joe says don't send any RPL to the smoothing pool, it'll be lost forever. And then the Fizz says I'm definitely not. I funded it with Proteus funds, but it's not me. I'm a very busy man. So then the benefactor says, is this the right address? And then pastes address there. And Joe says, if you want to send ETH to the smoothing pool, that is the right address. So then there's a link to an Etherscan transaction that says sent. And if you click on the link, the benefactor sent, where does it say where it's sent? It says success, 1 ETH. The value that it was sent was 1 ETH. So the smoothing pool got 1 ETH out of the benefactor. And Joe sees that and he says, you sent 1 ETH to the smoothing pool with like looking eyes. And then, wow. So yeah, the benefactor was like sending out a whole lot of tokens over the week. So if you have a look at their contract, their wallet, there's 10 RPL tokens left now. So they've sent 990 RPL worth of tokens, and they have sent 203 transactions. And I think that's around maybe 170 or 180 unique people. So like Whisker got 5 RPL, this person got 20, Sleety got 2, like a whole load of people like got RPL like 1 1 5 5 5 1 10 1 1 5 1 5 0, I think. Yeah. So that must have been an accident because that was 0, but then there's 5 here for the same person. So yeah, the whole lot of RPL was sent out. So that was really cool. And then benefactor was saying like, yeah, we'll give away more, and then they were giving away RPL across the whole weekend. And then Fizz kind of explained what was going on. So he says, I'm not sure if anyone is really aware why Proteus shares his stack here and lets me give it away. The idea is that community members who receive RPL are most likely to stake it and ensure their long-term success as part of the community. They're far more valuable than investors who just want to buy the token for a flip. People here are most likely to develop a long-term commitment to the platform, and any long-term commitment is reinforced with more skin in the game. That's why people who show actions aligned with Rocket Pool get RPL, and why people who are just here to get RPL, and why people who pay $5 for a fun POAP get RPL. It's building a community with a strong stake in RPL. And then he goes on to explain, anyone who received a significant number of RPL will have been encouraged to stake it rather than sell it. It's to harden the long-term foundations of the community. So that kind of goes in line with when I got a chunk of RPL from the wallet that Proteus seeded. I staked it all, right? And it's all staked. Like my node is humming away nicely with that RPL staked in there, and I have absolutely zero plans of ever withdrawing that RPL except to spin up more money pools. Like I don't plan on selling it anytime soon. So there's that. So then I made this poll over the weekend. I think that was on Saturday. I said, should Fizz tell us who the benefactor is? Yes, no, just give me some RPL. And 21 people said no, and 9 people said yes. So it's a good like 66% of people basically said that they don't want to know who the benefactor is, and we shouldn't try to force fist to tell us who it is. I was kind of joking about it over the weekend, and yeah, like I don't think I really want to know. So yeah. Okay, so then a couple of people were talking about it. Is Mambo-san says, "Hey, I'm just a lowly node operator and I don't do much beyond that, but I wanted to tell you thanks for offering this up to the many helpful people in this community. Folks like you really make this community shine, and it's just really cool to see." And then Mao says, "The greatest thing about people are here because they're passionate about it. Many do so much and expect nothing in return. And now seeing how many have some of that love returned in recent weeks especially is really amazing. 6 years of crypto and I've never seen anything like what I've seen here since I joined 2 years ago. Rocket Pool is really something special." And I think that sentiment was like really big across the whole community, and people were just really happy about this, and they were not happy about how much RPL they got specifically. They were just happy that there was such a positive sentiment in the community and everybody was happy. I think not a single person who messaged the benefactor left empty-handed. Like, not a single person. Everyone got something. So that was really, really cool. Next, I've been told to act out this interview with the benefactor. It's kind of long, so I'm not going to do all of it, but I'll just do like a couple of lines. So there's Whack Whack Attack. "Good evening, everyone. I'm excited to introduce our generous RPL benefactor to all of you. As many of you know, this individual has been quietly contributing a large amount of money to many active members of our Rocket Pool community." And then I'm supposed to become the benefactor, right? So I'll change position. "Hello, everyone. I'll change my voice as well. Hello, everyone. I'm honored to be here and to be recognized for my contributions. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you decided to generously support the Rocket Pool community?" "Well, I've been a long-time fan of decentralized technology and the potential it has to revolutionize industries. I came across the Rocket Pool project and was impressed by the team's vision and commitment to building a scalable and decentralized staking platform. I wanted to show my support and help the community grow and thrive." "That's truly admirable. Your contributions have made a huge impact on many members of our community. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you choose to support and why?" "Sure. I look for members who are actively participating in the community, contributing valuable insights and feedback, and help to build the Rocket Pool ecosystem. I want to reward and encourage those who are committed to the success of the project." That's a great philosophy. Thank you so much for your support and for all you've done for the Rocket Pool community. It's truly appreciated. "Thank you for the kind words. I'm happy to have been able to help, and I look forward to seeing the continued growth and success of Rocket Pool." So that was my interview with the Rocket Pool benefactor. So thank you. I expect my Oscar nomination like any week now. So thanks for that. So I think this was actually created by the new GPT, is it? Or GTP? I always get that wrong. But they're going to be talking about that a little bit more later. So another thing now, actually going on to serious business now, Joe released version 1.7.1, which has been kind of teased about for the last couple of weeks. So here he says it's entered the final testing, and then and then we have this over here, releases, where it says, "Good news, node operators. Today we're releasing Smart Node 1.7.1. This is a medium priority update that comes with a few small bug fixes and additional features, but more importantly, updates basically every client with their own fixes and security improvements. We recommend you update at your convenience." So I haven't updated yet, but I will be updating probably tomorrow. So it says updated Besu, Geth, Nethermind, Lighthouse, Nimbus, Teku, MEV Boost, Grafana, Prometheus, and the Node Explorer. So there's a whole lot of stuff there. It says Fornax added the ability to get your claimed and unclaimed smoothing pool balance in Prometheus, which lets both get added to new Grafana dashboards. And then there's Nethermind stuff, which is for advanced users. And after this extensive testing and discussion, this version introduces Rewards Tree 2. Oracle DAO members must update to this version before Rewards Interval 4 on December 22nd in order to apply these changes to that interval. And then there's a note for Besu users. We've seen a report of one person that crashed with a 6 immediately upon restarting immediately upon starting Besu up using this version. If you're using Besu, please carefully watch your logs for a minute or so upon starting the smart node after upgrading this release. If you encounter that error, let us know to revert your tag, and then there's a version that you can go back to, which should resolve the issue for now. And it says thanks everyone, and then I click on the thing to get the updates from there. So thanks for that. So this piece of information was shared by Jiman Huang, and he says Docker mode Rocket Arb is so sweet. Literally one command line to initiate it. Got my 0.4 ETH Arb thanks to Ramana. So I couldn't find any specific information about this. It might have been in one of the other threads, but what happened is that Popash was working on Dockerizing the contract, which means that you can basically use one line to access the Docker container, and then one more command to initiate the contract. So it makes it super easy for people to arb the premium, and it means that you've got no excuse, right? You've got no excuse to arb it now, because even I could do it. So that is definitely saying something. Like, I think people should they have no excuse now. So seeing people starting new mini pools without arbing the premium, it breaks my heart, because they're literally leaving hundreds of dollars on the table. I think it's nearly $600 now, $550 that they're losing out on by starting a mini pool while not using the contract. So please, if you are listening to this and if you are starting a mini pool, please use the Rocket Arb contract. And if you need any help getting it started, please reach out to someone in trading or in support, and people will be more than happy to help you with that, because we'd much rather see the money stay in the community rather than going out to the MEV bots. Okay, so next we have this amazing thing. So there was a POAP created that I have to share with you guys, even though I shared it on the Coinbase episode. So it was the POAP for the Coinbase listing, and then the main thing that I wanted to share with you was this this thing here. Like, Superfizz gave the information about it, but then it turned out, no, as Superfizz gave the information about it, he said that normally, so he said this. He says, I ought to say out loud, you all know that sometimes I provide party favors for those who participate in my games. I don't have anything like that in mind for this POAP at this time. So if you get it because you want it, not because of some silly gimmick. Get it because you appreciate the highbrow art. So I'm just going to share that highbrow art one more time for the people who are watching the YouTube stream, because this is glorious. I shared it on Saturday's Coinbase episode. But so what ended up happening was, even though Fizz said that, a bunch of people started talking in trading yesterday about how they got a random 0.5 RPL put into their wallets. And it turns out that was Fizz. He says, yep, I love sharing POAPs, but I don't like asking for money. So you get to send your money to someone deserving, which was RPL Grime, and I get to reimburse you for playing the game. This is fun as long as people don't expect/demand it. So, Fizz made it clear in the beginning that he's not going to be paying money, but then he ended up paying money anyway. So thanks, Fizz. Yeah. Okay, moving on. So one of the great obsessions that trading had this week was with the new GPT chat box, and I just got a couple of examples here that you guys can read. I'm not going to read them all out, but this one particularly really blew my mind. It was by Disby, who kind of explained his wrote out the prompt about wanting a job in Web3, and like how he had an interview and the interview kind of fell through, and the company never confirmed with him, and he's sad, and he said, what do I do? And the bot basically gave him incredibly good advice about how to deal with the situation. And I've never seen a response like this ever before. And trading was pasting screenshots all weekend about the text putting out really, really good answers. So this one, Rocket Luke shared, explain Rocket Pool in the style of Donald Trump. and it was like, with his kind of like style, and you can even hear it in his voice. And he says, so if you want to get in on the ground floor of this incredible opportunity, you better act fast. Trust me, Rocket Pool is going to be huge, and huge, like huge in his tone. You can almost hear it. And then another one about how did Epstein die, but it's just literally, there were like dozens of them, like everyone was posting them, and they're like all of these like images you can see on the screen are basically from the chatbot. Like it's really, really amazing. So then Dundo shared a story about Whack, a jolly fellow with a beard. Oh wait, I can't make it bigger. Let me see. Let's make it bigger. Yeah, here we go. So let's write a story. I had a friend named Whack, who was a jolly fellow with a beard that reeked of justice. Whack ran a YouTube channel for thousands of his disciples. Well, not thousands. Thousands of his disciples, wherein he disseminated sage investment advice. One day, the doors of my home suddenly burst open with a crash. I sold my house and I bought crypto with the proceeds, Whack exclaimed proudly. I was dumbfounded. Whack, are you sure that's a good idea? So this is a story that the bot was supposed to continue, right? Whack, are you sure that's a good idea? I asked cautiously. The crypto market's volatile and unpredictable. You could lose everything. But Whack just laughed and patted me on the back. Don't worry, my friend. I did my research. I have done my research. And I have complete faith in the investment. I have way too much RPL. Plus, it's not like I have anything else to lose. I sold my house, remember? So I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Whack has always been smart and level-headed guy, but this seemed like a rash and reckless decision. But he seemed so confident and sure of himself. I didn't want to burst his bubble. Well, I hope it works out for you, Whack, I said reluctantly. Just be careful and don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't worry, I won't, Whack assured me with a wink. I've diversified my portfolio and I have faith in the future of crypto. This is just the beginning, my friend, and we're going to be rich. I shook my head and I couldn't help but feel a little bit skeptical. Whack was my friend and I wanted him to be happy, so I wished him the best of luck and left it at that. Over the next few months, Whack's YouTube channel exploded with popularity. His followers were eager to learn more about his investment strategy, and many of them started investing in crypto themselves. Whack's wealth grew exponentially and he became a crypto celebrity over months, but it says overnight, that's fine. But as the story saying goes, all good things must come to an end, and that's exactly what happened to Whack and his crypto empire. The market crashed and Whack lost everything. He was forced to declare bankruptcy and his YouTube channel went silent. That's really sad. I felt terrible for my friend. I knew I had been right to caution him about the risks of investment in crypto, but it was too late now. Whack had made his bed and now he had to lie in it. But even in the darkest of times, Whack never lost his jolly spirit. He may have lost his wealth, but he never lost his sense of humor. He started a new YouTube channel, and this time focused on the financial literacy and investing responsibly. And while his new channel never reached the same level of popularity as his old one, Whack was happy just doing what he loved and helping others avoid the same mistakes he made. So I thought that was like the most incredible story that this bot just kind of made up on the spot. And, there's some things that might not fully align and like there's might be some small issues, but like with 5 minutes of editing, you can sharpen that story up so much. It was absolutely amazing. Like I couldn't quite believe it. Like, it's truly remarkable. So yeah, people were sharing a lot of that stuff, and Dundo's story was kind of like sad but sweet. So thanks for sharing that, Dundo. Next, we had this listing like from Coinbase, for those of you who didn't see it over the weekend. So Coinbase has put the Rocket Pool token on their roadmap for adding it to the platform, their exchange. And Sleety did some analysis, and normally takes about 5 weeks or so, but we think because it's the holidays it might be a little bit quicker or might be a bit longer. So I guess you can expect the Rocket Pool token to be on Coinbase in the next 3 to 6 weeks, I think, which is really cool to see. Okay, so next we had this. So I said, give me 100 Rocket Pool emojis and I record a special episode about Coinbase, and I got 120 and 109. So I made the episode on Saturday. So if you want to know all about trading's thoughts on the Coinbase listing, please watch the episode from Saturday, and you'll get all the information. And then this next thing about the Proteus that I'd like to mention on here, because it's Joe's passion project. Joe says, I just got my shipment of 50 rocks. I'm having one of those what have I done moments. And he then says, so good news and bad news. Good news, they're here now, so I can measure them and compare them to the dev kit to make a new case. Bad news, the dimensions are not what I expected based on the blueprints, so my version 2 case with the best guess is wrong. I'll have to redo it. And then he said, side news, I got one of those fanless cases too, but it gets here on Wednesday. I'll probably end up selling both the fanned and fanless models. So people were really happy about that. And then we already talked about the good news, bad news. And then here's a picture of a box with some of the rocks in there. So Rock 5 Model B, which is what Joe will be using. And then he'll be putting a hard drive in there and adding a box to it as well. So it's going to be a really cool product. And then Joe was sending pictures of like what the body of the processor looks, of the computer looks like, and what it looks like when you attach a fan to it and stuff. And he says fan mount rear design success. Onwards to the case. So Joe was like working on that pretty much all weekend. And then the next update we had was Proteus flashed right out of the box and it's working. So he flashed the smart node software onto that and it was all working. So the machine's working and Joe says it's a good day. And then he used Checkpoint Sync to envisage fallback thing that he has. And yeah, Joe says, they changed some very unusual features, design decisions compared to the dev kit. The 5V GPIO pins are now always active even when the board is off. Means I have to throw a transistor into my front panel for the fan. Blah, now I need 4 pins table flip. So there's like still stuff to like work on, still stuff to do, but it works, which is absolutely amazing. Kaludran asked for a shout out. He says, for anyone reading this channel, please get any additional comments on the proposed rubrics applications in by December 10th. And then there's a link on the DAO for the DAO forum. Sorry if this is not rendering on your screen properly. It says Grants Management Committee proposed rubrics and application. So it says, hey folks, I want to put a hard deadline and feedback so the GMC can finalize things so we can get everything set up for the first round of applications slated for January. Prior to the upcoming holidays, please share any additional feedback in this thread by December 10th, 1 week from today. Thanks. And then people were giving their feedback, but there's only 2 pieces of feedback. So, we and the GMC really need more feedback for this. So, there's actually a little bit more feedback, but yeah, there's a new deadline now of the 10th of December, which is in 5 days time. So please go in there and give your feedback and we'll try our best on the committee to address those issues, concerns that you might have. But a little bit of alpha here is that the GMC was planning our post application meeting to discuss the applications, and that's scheduled for the 3rd week of January. So we're hoping to have grants out in February, which will be really, really amazing. So next we have this comment from Object, who says, I want to give the guy who made the artwork some time to clean it first, and then I'll start with the distribution. Everyone who used the rescue node can get one. Sneak peek. So Object was involved in making a POAP called Saved by the Rescue Node, and it's an absolutely beautiful POAP. So I forgot who designed it. Let me just see if it says it here. Yeah, the art was by Arkir, and it's a beautiful POAP, and it's just this rescued by, and then there's like a astronaut kind of like under attack. There's like rockets flying and stuff, and it says Object Patches and Popash, who are the people who are like helping with the rescue node, and then 14 people have claimed it so far. So this is going to be a very rare POAP. It's going to be really cool. And then if you go back, then people started saying, look, there's the POAP itself, and people started saying, Superfizz, like, wait, my node is down, I need to use the rescue node. And Mix says, oh no, wait, sorry. And then Valdov says, yeah, my node needs rescuing too. I had it in Fizz's attic, and Fizz says my house just burned down. So people are just like, oh wow, they really want to get this POAP because it's beautiful. It's really cool. And the last thing I want to finish on was this information by Fornax, so let me just clarify something. Like today's episode organization has been kind of all over the place. I just haven't had time. It's just been, there's just too much. There was just too much in trading from over the weekend. And that's even by taking out all the Coinbase stuff. There was just too much. So yeah. This will go into 1.7.1. So there's new metrics for Grafana, including rocket pool smoothing pool, ETH balance, node claimed, node unclaimed rewards, snapshot proposal active, snapshot votes active, snapshot votes proposals closed, votes closed, snapshot node voting power, and snapshot delegate voting power as well. So all of these things will now be available on the Grafana dashboard. So on that note, I'm going to end this because this is a really long episode. I hope you all had a lovely weekend. I hope you all got some RPL from the Benefactor. I think he's almost close to finishing it now. She's almost close to finishing it now. I will give you more updates on that tomorrow, which is Tuesday's episode. So, yeah, I hope you all had a good weekend, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.